It might be true, Nintendo or the Pokemon Company might have just did something really interesting that includes older Pokemon games. Now yes, this has been a thing that we've been talking around for like a long time, but if we were really going to take a look at it, there was a recent leak of a Pokemon game that has been scrapped in replacement for Sword and Shield. Now inside of that, there was a bunch, and I mean a bunch of talks for fusion Pokemons, and also having the ability to play with others. But the big thing that I want to discuss was this right here. It was the ability to actually being able to use your phone to scan the QR code to potentially do things in the world of Pokemon. But in this scenario, or this case, this could have been the full idea on what the Pokemon Company could allow you to do for the older DS games. Because not for just Pokemon, this would have worked fantastically for any game. You take your phone, you pick it up, you see the QR code on screen, and you scan it immediately, and boom, all of a sudden you got the bottom DS half on your mobile device. Now of course, how would controllers work? Well, controllers would be a little bit of a different scenario. A, you could technically have the controllers on the side of the phone screen, or B, you can have an implementation of an accessory that you can go and get, and you got controllers on whatever side. That technically would work okay if the Pokemon Company decides to do something like that. But of course, there's always been around the gamepad idea, where either Nintendo is going to do a second screen, because if you look at it, it really seems like it. There's been another patent update that really looks like Nintendo is going to be implementing some sort of patent that allows you to have a second screen on your Nintendo Switch 2. Imagine how great that would be, just grabbing your old DS games and slapping it in there and boom, all of a sudden you can play them once again. We've really seen this before because it's essentially the age of the remasters or ports this year in 2026. Because if you look at it, oh boy howdy, not only Nintendo is doing a bunch of remasters or remakes like Star Fox and Ocarina of Time, but you also have like Activision just dropping other ports of like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in 2026, which is definitely really cool. Other remasters include Assassin's Creed Black Flag and maybe even just ports of the old games like Fire Red and Leaf Green. If you look at it, that definitely does make sense. In fact, you can even see a potential leak for Pokemon Emerald. Pokemon Emerald really seems like it's going to be returning in 2026 because oh boy, not only is it the year of remasters and remakes and ports and whatever, but also the year of Rayquaza. If you looked at anything, you can see easily that Rayquaza has been the big talk, the big show. You had Lego sets, you had the whole Pokemon card thing about Rayquaza. You also had the potential game leak for Rayquaza. Also, if that wasn't enough, the CEO of Nintendo himself actually did say, "I can't answer your question specifically, but we are working to make our valuable back catalog of games playable on current hardware whenever possible." Overall, this is definitely some very great things when you really take a look at it. Don't you want to see more and more things like that make its way over to Nintendo platforms? Because the older Pokemon games have been the big talk of the town recently. And imagine that, if they decide to group them all up together, instead of remastering or remaking them or whatever, they group them all together for $80. Now I know, $80 might sound like a lot, but imagine if it was a full-fledged physical. A physical game of old cartridges would absolutely be fantastic, and this would be a perfect way to celebrate the 30th anniversary. Now of course, this isn't confirmed any way, shape, or form. In fact, I believe Pokemon Emerald is going to be coming back, but the DS ones have always been that weird thing, that weird sensation. Well, how are they going to do the second screen? The second screen has been the big thing. Like, are they going to implement a second screen? Are they going to do this idea with the mobile devices? Are they going to allow you to have a Switch 2 on screen, then use your Nintendo Switch as that second screen? There's so many different ways to do it. In fact, there's even a plain and simple way that you just take the console itself, you flip it upside down, and then you got the top one as the top screen and the bottom one as the bottom screen. Like, that obviously works fine. All they would need to do is add some sort of grip that allows you to slide the Nintendo Switch 2 inwards, and then you can use it like that. And when you're playing on TV mode, what you do is you just open up the game, and all of a sudden, boom, you got the thing. One side is going to be the top screen, and the other side is going to be the bottom screen. That obviously works just fine if you're going to be doing it that way. But honestly, I think the mobile device thing definitely could work. The Pokemon Company really showed how this could work. Originally, for Pokemon King and Queen, that's what the game was going to be called, it was supposed to act more like the Pokemon Go sort of thing, where you were able to scan a Pokemon, catch the Pokemon, put it inside of like the ball, and then when you're not working or whatever, that would be essentially the second bottom half of the screen, where you can play with the Pokemon, where you can battle with the Pokemon, where you can train with the Pokemon, but you weren't really able, it wasn't technically a DS, but they could have easily implemented that because of the fact. Also, we've already seen games like this in the past use a mobile device as that sort of second screen. Look at something like the Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Those games actually worked out really well. Like, it really did work out well, because if you wanted to, you had the Zelda on the top and you play it, and then boom, you turn on Zelda notes, and all of a sudden you got all of the things that you need to see. You have the entire map, you can see the Koroks, you can look down at your phone, okay, Korok here, or I'm gonna go over there, ping it, boom, and then it starts talking. That could easily work in that regard. Or even, hey, if you want to play with a friend, someone's the top screen, the other one's the bottom screen, that technically could work out, you know what I mean? Like, you can do it like that. Overall, this would be the perfect opportunity to play the best Pokemon games that ever existed. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, honestly, seeing that in 2026 would be fantastic, because I don't know about you, but I don't think it's worth it going out there to buy a Pokemon copy of this game for $200. Yikes, that's even worse. Plus, if you want the complete experience, the Poke Walker is going to set you back another 100 or so, which is definitely really crazy. And if you want the entire thing complete and box, oh boy, that's over like $300 or $400 for that game. And seeing Black and White, that's another $200. Black and White 2, $200. You have Platinum, $200. Like, all of these games have gone so far out of commission that, like, you're not going to be able to get it unless you're like, want to take down your money. Here, take it for $200. Besides that, I think that all of these things are really interesting. I believe that this could have been the whole idea, the targeted solution for these games. After all, it's a 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Maybe they're going to be doing something like this. Hey, you want these games back? There you go. The year of remasters and ports and stuff is officially here. So get jumping on with your wallets and your cards, and we're going to be playing some Pokemon here. Get ready. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is some interesting information or not at all? Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you consider hit that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo, Pokemon, Zelda news on this channel. Anyways, see you in the next one.